Islam Sheikh Dwayne Baffle Bang, my Moorish American Nation family. It's October 24th, 2023. I'm at formerly Extended Stay America. I have not opened these curtains since I closed them maybe 2 hours ago. And I was just talking. I heard, yeah, I was just talking. I was hearing someone cough outside. This to be the same pale skinned female. I'm not sure. Um, um, Coughing outside. But maybe she's just enjoying herself. Um, There used to be a pale skinned male right here that would be licking in, like licking towards, but I would just oh look, someone is actually, let me just go ahead and close the curtain. So what I find interesting is a lot of times when I start speaking about African American Black Negroes that are unclean and unnatural in spirit, I would hear the door across here open and close, and a lot of times before I would just glance out and see, and it would be her. Before it would be a pale skin, or I might hear black African American accent. Male, definitely I'm still hearing the accents very close in the room, like um like AI, or when I say AI, like just just keep saying brother, like repetitively, brother, 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 brother. And I was just telling Imani how this pale skinned male was saying that some of the Africans that are coming over here, he specifically was speaking about an African being connected to United Nations and military, the United States military, and being involved. And he's saying that something drastic is about to happen. He thinks. He said this specific African was saying that he gets paid thousands of dollars a month, and he's waiting to hear from someone. He's only here. He's set up, but he's here for a certain amount of time. What I find interesting, Sheikh Dwayne Baffle Bay, and I'm gonna say that what I find interesting is that you have here in Annapolis, like when I would speak about the unnaturalized United States military behaving odd and the veterans, predominantly African American black males, all of a sudden those that look from Pakistan or India would be more engaging. And I would all of a sudden see the word Al Qaeda come up. Like for example, I wouldn't look up Al Qaeda, but Al Qaeda would come up on my tablet. Or when I say come up, that means you know how what is it, spell check. So I put in A, and then the word, at the bottom you can choose words to finish out the word that you're trying to spell, so you don't have to put each and every character. Al Qaeda would come up. Now, how would that be able to be controlled unless we're among some type of robot? So the pale skin was saying that um, he thinks that the United Nations, and I'm pretty sure he used military, but he definitely said the United Nations. Um, and well, he said the United Nations is controlling the military, or implying that that something is big is about to happen, and he said, and it's going to happen in the next few months. Now I don't know what he could be talking about, but now they sending people to so-called Israel for help. And so when I say so-called, because if you look at ancient maps, it was they say that was not there was no Israel over there. It was all it was all Palestine. So I'm not sure. But nonetheless, but what I find interesting here is that when you think when I was thinking, it doesn't have to be so much the United Nations being physically doing things. It all starts with the mind. They can definitely be preparing a psychological warfare or continuing psychological warfare, Islam, because some of the Africans here, um, they engage in a sly manner. It's like they are very, very smart in implementing some type of program by saying the word Mason or implying to be connected to a group that's Mason and saying three. So, and that goes with those that speak Spanish from Mexico, South Central America. Islam, okay? And we already seen the borders flow. So the pale skin was saying that he thinks there's something criminal is about to happen in reference connected to um, immigrants coming over here that are connected to the United Nations. This specific immigrant was from Africa. So and this is also once again in connection to African Americans, blacks that would be considered possibly unnatural or some type of lab experiment, also connected to the unnaturalized United States military, which is connected to the United Nations, Islam. So if you're dealing with psychological warfare and they have the ability to cause harm mentally, psychologically, and you have countries that are major players involved, that could be what's going on. And if you are trying to condition people from the energy of freedom and natural law, because I always ask the question, I said, why would I experience any form of acts of terrorism being a naturalized Moor? Why would any naturalized being that has affirmed to uphold constitutional laws on this landmass come to a city with the United States military prevalent? I mean, they come into Burger King like wearing Navy shirts, too many in one day to count. Okay, I guess I can count, but I'm not going to count. And then the United States, they wear the veteran shirt. One male, he comes in, he always seemed to be rude when I'm trying to just ask him a simple question. He's one of the ones I took a picture of and did a video because I saw him at the bank teller down the street from the Whole Foods like today. He just, I mean, like literally very, very aggressive with responding to the words I with questions on what I ask him. Um like he's trying to restrain himself. And then usually he falls back on and start having a conversation with one of the customers in Burger King, and usually after he's showing some form of aggression in his response to me, he'll fall back and start speaking to one of the customers, because once again many customers been coming to Burger King before I been here, before Imani and I came here, and the military has been here before Imani and I came here. Phyllis, what as far as I know, the manager, her husband, what I remember her saying to a customer, is retired from the Navy. James, which this particular black male that wears the veteran uniform is the one that was speaking to James, the manager, and it sounded like military terms, which caused me to ask James one day. I had no idea. I said, "Are you connected to the military?" And he was like, either he said he was still, or he used to be and not anymore. So, nonetheless, is the particular black male I'm talking about, usually after he performed or behaved some type of aggressive response towards me, he'll fall back and have a conversation with one of the regular customers and start speaking about what some form of military terms in reference to his I guess his classification, what part of the military he was with, what he did. He'll start speaking about military as though because he is a vet, it seemed like, because he does this a lot, it's like he's trying to, like, he'll show aggression in his response towards me, and then he'll fall back with the regular customer and start speaking in military terms with the regular customer, as though He's trying. I don't know why. Why can't I'm not gonna even say he's trying. I don't know what his reasons will be, but this has happened too many times. Um, so I mean, there's many conversations you can have, but this happens. I mean, I'm seeing this particular male, like many of them, black male. This is a black male coming to Burger King for years. Okay. Now, I never thought the United Nations per se would be so prevalent too in Annapolis. I never thought about that, or somewhere close. So, but this particular pale skin was saying that these immigrants or immigrant, but he particularly was speaking about an African, um, that they coming over here and they're doing work for the United Nations undercover, and the United Nations somehow, if I remember correctly, being connected. I could be wrong, but it definitely I remember him speaking about the United Nations being connected to the military, which would make sense a lot in reference to Annapolis, Islam. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But usually when I'm speaking about African American, and so I was like, my thoughts is, what could the United Nations and an unnaturalized United States military be planning? There is psychological warfare. I demonstrate psychological warfare and then demonstrate proof that it can be done since I've been here. So if you're trying to condition masses of people from obtaining actual freedom, you would first attack the mind. And so this is once again the connection with African American blacks that behave in the way that what some would say at terrorists. I was telling Imani, I said, how could unnaturalized black Negroes, unnatural, I mean, when I say unnaturalized, unnatural lab experiments that are African American blacks go unknown for so long? How could we be among such beasts on this landmass, female and male, and not know about them? And they are capable of causing so much harm to humanity. And where you have males that think they should have the right to use whatever science they can do to rape, and the females use whatever science they could do to stalk your child, a man. How could we be among such black African American unclean, unnatural beast animals, lab experiments for so many years and not know how a government is using them and what they are capable of? Islam, well dressed, educated in psychology, how could we not know?